Sports Desk is sponsored by Lime, the better, faster 4G network.
With me, shortly, you get a chance to meet up with them. We have the winners from the main event on Sunday's races. The folks from Town Hall is here. I have my analyst, my big horse analyst. He's here also. I have my colleague. He's going to be here. But before we go into those folks, we want to give you guys a sneak peek of the races on Sunday. So check this one out.
They're all in line for the sixth and feature race of the day. Flag is up, waiting on the break. 1 mile, 116. Missing the break was number 3, Break Up the Game. Showing early speed is Rock and Royal. Right there on his outside is Town Hall. On the outside edge ahead. Then we have Gamekeeper, Brass Note, and the early trailer is Break Up the Game. They head up the backstretch for the first time. That is edge ahead, out front by a full length. Running second is Rough and Royal. Right there along his inside is Gamekeeper. Then another gap of 2 back to Town Hall. Then we have Brass Note, and the trailer is still Break Up the Game. First quarter went in 24-3. They bunch together as they approach the top of the lane for the first time. Down along the inside, that is Gamekeeper. Way on the outside, we have Town Hall, that's edge ahead, now moving back in front. Edge ahead in front by a long neck. Down along the inside, that is Gamekeeper. In between horses, we have Rough and Royal. On his outside, Town Hall. Then it's a gap of 3 back to Break Up the Game. And the trailer is now Brass Note. The half went in 50-2. 3 across the track as they head up the back stretch. Down on the inside, that is edge ahead. On his outside, that is Town Hall. Those two head up the track, and now Gamekeeper is thrown in the towel. Then we have Break Up the Game. On his outside, Rough and Royal, and the trailer is Brass Note. They're still heading up the back stretch now. Town Hall has drawn clear by a full length. They're on the 6 in 104-2. They approach a far turn, and now Town Hall draws clear by 2 by 3. Town Hall is out front by 3 as they approach the top of the stretch, and there he turned for home. That is Town Hall out front by 3.5, but Break Up the Game is now closing. He is trying to get to Town Hall with a 16 to go. But Town Hall is clear by 4. It's going to be the BBI. Town Hall by 4.5. Break Up the Game on second, edge ahead, Rock and Royal, Brass Note.
And like I said, if you're just checking in, we're going to have the races previewing again for you guys. Our numbers to call is 541-7541 if you want to get involved with us. If you want to send us a text, it's the same number. But I must welcome my guests. Once again, I got a new face in the studios this evening, along with my co-host. I just want to introduce everybody. Paula, can I do this?
Please go right ahead.
Oh, my co-host this evening is Paul on the ball. You guys know him as Paul. Paul on the ball. Of course, we have in the studios with us again, Pico Pickering. And a new face who just showing up in here with us also is the man fella, Warner. He's going to be here. He's representing Town Hall. I'm waiting for the big man to show up. Family affair. I'm waiting for the big man to show up. He'll be here shortly. So, folks, I just want to welcome you to the Sports Desk once again, Pico. No stranger to us. Fella newcomer. We're here talking horse race. Paul?
Yeah, well, obviously it was an extremely interesting race, and I don't really want to take away any of Feather's glory. Of course, as we say, we're going to have young Mr. Lake here shortly. Mm-hmm. But it was an extremely interesting race indeed. And Pico, you know, before the race, you and I did speak, and I genuinely didn't have Town Hall as the winner. I must admit that. But as Feather himself said before, class is class, and in this race specifically, he has proven to himself that he has shown a level of class. You know, I'm still unsure, Pico, and I have to be, and that is my own personal feeling, I'm still unsure of what level that he is at yet. But certainly he's shown us that he is certainly striving to greatness, and they could well be a time when we put him along the same lines of the uptowns and the expectations. Pico, your view?
Well, one of the things is when we has these horses imported, as we, you know, all of them are imported one way or the other, most of them I should say. But if you look at Town Hall, we're speaking about Town Hall who won the big race last week. One of the things we have to take in consideration is that when these horses get here, they have to acclimatize. They come from a long way, and they got to acclimatize. Not because they go from racetrack to racetrack. They got to acclimatize. They got to get familiar with the surface, the setting, everything around them. And when you look at Town Hall, the first race, of course, he jumped the fence. He got away from the jockey. And, make no bones about it. I thought he needed to be scratched at the time. However, that was a decision for the handlers. And then his second race, okay, he won. But you could see he wasn't all out. And when we did the interview, as mentioned earlier, I said, well, today, which was Sunday gone, today is going to be the day for a real test for him. And to me, even with although he won the race convincingly, I don't think he was all out either. Because when I interviewed a jockey after the race, Feliciano, he said he still had a lot of horse left. And one of the things that he pointed out to me, and this would be music today. Of course, I'm sure he discussed it with them. But as analysts and the one, we do the commentary, what he said is that when the horse make the lead, he start fooling around. Now, this might be new to some of the people who's looking at us and listening, but it happens all the time because certain horses like company. But he told me what set up the race good for him is the two-speed horses that was up front. They set a good pace. And as you look at the race, when he come down the home stretch for the first time, you notice he positioned the horse and he kept him clear. He kept him clear of traffic. So when he turned up the back stretch, he didn't have to really exalt the horse a lot for him to make the lead. And then when he got top of the stretch, well, of course, the rest is history. He started to pull away. But what set it up for him is the pace from the two front the horses up front.
Is that a sign of confidence in Feliciano, that he had the confidence to put him on the outside and just hold him clear out there?
Well, certainly, yes. As a matter of fact, because as mentioned before, he went into what we call the nibstone.
Right.
If you notice, he positioned himself so he didn't ask the horse for a lot.
No.
So he didn't have to take a lot out of him in order to go up stretch, because as soon as he make the bend and he went up stretch up front, he sort of passed the other horses with the exception of one. And then he lay alongside that horse till when he asked the horse to go. So he bide his time. So he said it was good company for him. So the question he asked him was, yes, he still had a lot of horse that time. And he wasn't really exhorting the horse or asking him anything until he make the lead.
So before we let everybody else in, the key question here is then, this race here compared to the race before, did the horse run more comfortable? Did he look more classy? Did he look like, like if he was a genuine A-class horse ready to take on the likes of really Uptown?
Absolutely, because of going, like you say, how he did it. And if you look among the 3/8 pole, he kept the horse out center track. He even a tiring horse, he looking for the quickest way to get home, and that way he would have hugged the rail a lot closer, and then start asking him to go because he want to get home and what thing. But as mentioned, he said he had a lot of horse and the horse was toying around with the other horses. That speaks volume, because what he's telling you is that the horse had a lot of horse, and if he had more company, then he would have had to push he would have shoot off again.
Right.
He would have taken off the competition. He'd have run a better time.
Now, my question is, Pico, when we look at the way this horse ran in the past two races, which was last race and this race, if you had to select the perfect race for him, what would it be, a sprint or distance?
No, the distance. Most likely the distance that he run, maybe he could go another 16 of a mile more. So again, because of depends on the competition, because like I said, he wasn't all out, he didn't come back panting, so to speak, and what's not. So he still had some gas left in his tank. So the distance it doesn't mean a whole lot to him.
Now, when you're looking at a horse like really Uptown, who can just about go any distance at any pace, comparing Town Hall with Uptown, how do you foresee that?
Well, although he's on a lamb, as we was, so to speak, as he's on a layoff. He hasn't run since is it Carnival races in St. Thomas last year. he's still the measuring stick. He's still the measuring stick because you can't do it all by eye test. Right. So time gonna be a guide here. But if you look at what we see come with Uptown, you know he still gotta come good. Okay, he still gotta come good. But this, in fairness to him, he had a legitimate excuse in the first race that he ran, as mentioned earlier. But this last race, Sunday gone, you could see he still got something left, and he still got a way to go in order to. Yeah. And he's got to do some good preparation for Uptown. If Uptown come, obviously when Uptown come back, he's gonna need a race to get race ready, and then you'll see, because you know what he's capable of doing already.
Right. And also looking at the time, if you look at the time at 1:54, that also kind of gives us an idea as to the quality of the horse, and it'll be interesting to see when the two horses meet how. And we spoke before, Pico, about Ack and Uptown, the way the jockeys, and again they're a very clever jockey. He makes the horse look at the other horse, and whether they're going to want the inside or the outside. And eyeballing, as Feather just said, that'll be interesting. But I would assume, again, you don't want to assume too much, but I'd assume it would probably be a faster race with both of these, quality horses in it.
Most likely. Now, like I say, we know who Uptown is already. Okay, that's well documented. But however, the one encouraging thing, especially for the handlers, the owners, right, and his handlers, what would be interesting in what a jockey, because is the trainer, they get him out there. But when it's all said and done, once they go into the A's, there's only two, the jockey and the horse. So you depend on the jockey to tell you what he feels under him, what kind of what's that. But most interestingly for me, when I interviewed him on Sunday, he said that if the horses could have keep up, because remember, if you listen to the announcer, you see one throwing the towel, they quit, they back up. So the one that you was looking for would have been break up the game. Okay, now that's according to their owners, that's the style they wanted to run. But the jockey said if he had competition, he would have see a better performance. So that leaves you with some encouraging words from the jockey, the guide who steered the ship. I said, well, okay.
I presume we're
still got a little way to go.
We're not going to take a break yet. I just want to get one of the trainers and handlers involved. Further, give us your analysis of the race.
Well, as we tell the jockey, when you break this horse, you have the speed horse them like Brass Note and Wolfen Royal. They're going to want to go for the lead. At any time they're horsing to go for the lead, just take him back. You take him back, you sit behind him, because when you get back to go back up to the 7 furlong to go back up the whole hill again, as that's exactly what he did. He gonna pass them, he gonna take care of business. When it's time to go home, he's supposed to be all clear. As I tell you before on the show, as I tell Paul, he gonna beat him by 4 going. Yeah. And that's exactly what he did.
You did predict that. I didn't want to get into that too soon yet, because we have one of the owners here.
I'm glad that you did.
He's been trying to get. I was trying to hold Mr. Warnock, because we do have the one of the owners here, Mr. Winter. We're gonna get Mr. Lake. Sorry, I was thinking of a different horse. Mr. Lake here. We're gonna have a chat with him in a minute. But so I'm gonna analyze him a bit more. We're gonna take a break now. But let's take a pause for cause. When we come back, Pico, what I'd like us to do is to analyze, break up the game, the technique that he used in the race, and of course, from what we understand, these guys are planning to go across to St. Croix next. We'll break up the game, use the same technique in St. Croix. We talk about it right after the break.
Sports Desk is sponsored by Lime, the better, faster 4G network.
Welcome back, folks. And if you guys are trying to reach us, I know I just missed a call. If you guys want to call us back, the number's on the screen, 541-7541. Our numbers to text is the same number, 541-7541.
No.
I don't have a call yet, Paul, but I think you wanted to get back to your
But I
question.
said before the caller comes through, I want to get Pico in here quickly. And let's have a quick look at a break up the game, Pico. Kind of analyze him a bit.
Okay,
Because,
I have a caller.
we'll take that call.
Good evening, you're disposed this? Good evening, you're disposed this?
Good evening to you all.
Good evening.
Oh, Jesus, my
I'm
hands.
not calling to talk about the sports, I'm just calling to heal up my nephew, Pera. Pera!
Thanks, Auntie. Thanks, Auntie. Thanks, Auntie Mavis.
All right. Thank you.
So, Pico, getting back to it, and thanks, Andy Mays, for calling. Really appreciate that. Getting back to break up the game now. Let's analyze the way he ran the race a bit. And taking into consideration that they're due to meet again, I would assume, again, assumptions are dangerous, but in St. Croix, how did you see the way to break up the games from what we saw, his strategy?
Well, okay. Every horse has a running style. And if you look at the race, break up the game running style is to come off the pace. And you know, a closer, we call them closers. And if you listen to his owner, Penn, when we was trash talking, the horse ran exactly the way Penn predicted that he would run. Now, there's some talk that he get a bad break out the gate. Now, I don't, even if that's so, let's put it this way. When he came out of the gate, he wasn't too far behind.
Right.
But if you listen again to the owner, the jockey was instructed to take him back, which he did. Because his thing was, with a two-speed horse, like everything else, he going to sit out the pack. And he would, run everybody down from behind. Mm-hmm. So he had all his chances because, we're going a mile and a 16, right? But the question that you're asking, based on the performance of Tong Hall,
yes.
Obviously, what he going to do now? Because remember, they were meeting for the first time.
Yes.
Okay? So he's aware now that he can't let Tong Hall get too far in front.
Yeah.
So obviously, what he's going to do, the instruction that he gave whether to take back, because the jockey has a bird's eye view and he's going to look up front to see what's going on. That's what Feliciano did.
Yes.
So obviously, he's not going to let Tong Hall get too far. Although, because you don't know who else is going to be in the race. But these two horses here from St. Croix were speed horses.
Definitely.
So both Tong Hall and break up the game were dependent on them to set the pace, which in fact they did. Mm-hmm. But Feliciano, he moved a lot quicker because what he had, the jockey Feliciano, what he had, he moved his horse a lot quicker, and he said, well, okay, come and get me. Penn did what he had to do based on his strategy and his instruction, but he never caught Tong Hall. So I know what you're saying is now when they meet the second time around,
yes.
Obviously, he's not going to let Tong Hall get away too far from him because well, look, I can't catch him if I sit too far behind. Now, the other thing is, they're going to a bigger track. Because they're going St. Croix.
That's where I was coming to.
Who the other competition is going to be, you really don't know.
I spoke to Bobo, and he didn't clarify, in the interview he did with me, the kind of condition that Slevin was in. Mm-hmm. And so it would be interesting if Slevin suddenly appeared, on the race card. But he did say he's just shopped this week, and he may want to throw a new horse into the ring.
What he also said that he was giving Slevin a rest.
He did.
Okay? But let's go back in these two horses.
Sure.
Because they're going to be the two talk of the tongue right now.
Yeah.
The one thing you notice with Tong Hall, depending on the competition, he could go front.
Yes, he can.
Whereas Penn got to come from behind.
Yes.
So they're going to be a lot different. So you wouldn't know until you see who the race is, who's involved in the race. Mm-hmm. Because both of them. But if you look at Tong Hall is more versatile.
That's what I said. Okay, go ahead. You're on sports test. Go ahead.
Yeah, he starts to fall on the back.
Yeah, go ahead. He listening.
Yes, right. Big up. Good night to all you guys. All on the ball, Nico, and the boy fed up. This is Slingman calling from Guadalajara.
Okay.
Yes, right.
Wait, you there to the races?
So get it all the start done. By Will Upton and Tong Harvey and so get it out of the way. All I want to see that Upton come back like Upton, then Feather, Me, you is boy, but they going to be hard then.
That's what competition is all about, my boy. No love lost.
No love
lost, no, man.
They going to be hard. Once he come back like how he did,
Yeah.
how he was, it's hard.
But I hope so too. I love really Uptown. He's a good horse. I respect him. No respect.
Yeah.
I don't respect him at all.
So,
Good.
well, Pico, the caller kind of went into what we tried to hold back because we knew that was going to come next.
Come.
But I guess if we're going to, if we start to analyze now that the inevitable, let's call it that, it's going to obviously now going to be imperative for Town Hall to have a very good race in St. Croix. That's going to be imperative to his claim to fame, so to speak.
And here's why. Not too long ago, Leave It to Born was the talk of the town.
He was.
In the absence, all of this now is the absence of really of town.
Correct.
He's no longer around. So here comes Town Hall. Of course, Break Up the Game won his last race in St. Croix.
Yes.
They're going to have a rematch. That's obvious.
Yes.
Okay? But again, you don't know who the other, because remember St. Croix has 8 gates.
That's right.
But let's focus on the 2 horses for now.
Yes.
You don't know what the competition is going to be, who is going to come. So right now, the talk is all about Town Hall. He's the new kid on the block, on the block, so to speak. But because he break up the game.
Correct.
So now you got to go back to St. Croix now. And I remember the cushion, them always has something over there waiting. You never know. But the talk is going to be about Break Up the Game, Town Hall, because they're going to a 7/8 track now.
Yes.
And that's going to make a lot of difference. It's going to be cat and mouse with the jockeys, just like it was here. Well, here wasn't so much cat and mouse because both of them had their tragedies.
Correct.
But now when you go to St. Croix, it's going to be more like a cat and mouse game. So Town Hall is more versatile than Baker because he could go front. Tactical speed, the jockey going to know, well, look, if the speed ain't up there, I have no other chance but to go.
And that's the other question for you. Can we expect to see the Crucians jumping in favor of St. Thomas and Break Up the Game and ganging up on Town Hall? They've been known to do this against Acme 4.
Oh, they certainly does, and they certainly will. Okay, because they did it in the last race with the Governor's Cup in St. Thomas. They did it with Bud White, Slevin, and everybody, whatever the case will be.
Correct.
But again, Uptown, so versatile, he could do anything. So the guy could position him where he want. If you got a speed horse, I got to go toe-to-toe with you. And I know, and expect, Slevin and them will be coming from behind.
So before we get Alex into this, here's my question to you.
Yeah.
I ask this question. So you are now the owner. You are Alex now.
Yeah.
You're Alex.
Yeah.
And I'm the jockey.
Yeah.
Give me the instructions for the race.
With Town Hall?
Yes.
Well, if they break, whoever come in the race,
Yeah.
let's put it this way. Whoever come in the race now, because remember, you're not only going to be going 2 tons for the mile and the 16, whereas you went 4 here.
Correct.
Okay? My instruction will be, if they break, you sit them off the pace, you put them in the middle of the pack, if they got speed, because again, okay, let's assume that these 2 horses, Brass Note and Rough and Royal,
But they probably will.
let's say they will be in the race, right? So my instruction, if you notice he break, look at the race, okay? Right now he's 5th,
Yes.
okay? I want him 3rd.
You want him third.
I want him 3rd.
Because of the size of the track.
The size of the track, you know what these 2 horses are capable of doing,
Right.
and then who else is the competition?
That's right. No
Break up the
sneaking
game.
in. No sneaking in.
No sneaking in.
Okay.
Yeah,
Break Up the Game will be forced to catch him
exactly.
if he wants to beat him.
Exactly.
It might have
That's it.
it might have 2 new horses in a race.
Most likely, it might have 4.
Which is Ethelred for the boys table.
That's the
Okay.
one who just
And then your horse.
From Bates.
And
That's mileage.
That's mileage.
Yeah, okay.
And then you have Bobo Bates.
Bobo Bates because he says he's going to have a new
With
horse
another
anyway.
Uptown, which
Yes.
is his Uptown anthem.
Well,
Okay.
It gonna be tongue,
Yeah.
Uptown, tongue hall, and Uptown up there.
And then
tongue.
I'm going to look here, it's going to be really up top as well.
Yeah. And hear this, because Bobo Bay still on Sunday.
Yes.
He got a race and what's not. So
Yeah.
from one of the things that the guys don't like to let out, but if you listen to the owners, he said that there's a race, it might have a race 6.5 furlong,
furlong, yeah, the
and it
sprint.
might sprint.
Yes.
So the mere fact that Bobo Bates is thinking about that 6 furlong,
Yes.
it's telling you that his horse got some speed in him.
Yes.
So you got to wait and see.
The other thing
That's a fact.
the other thing
Okay.
that struck me, Pico, is that Bobo Bates was here. Now Bates is a funny fella. He doesn't travel for no reason. And I get the feeling that he heard the talk of Town Hall, and he wanted to see it for himself.
Yeah.
Okay, on that note, we're going to try to take a break. We just missed a call, but we're going to get...
Well, before we go, let's just thank Pico, because Pico is going to be leaving now. We want to thank Pico for being here today. Pico, always a pleasure. Thanks for your analysis. Looking forward to having you again. I hope you're going to come back on board with us again soon.
As always.
As always.
Paul, you don't let me. Why you try to hide?
You may have to do it.
You find it. Okay.
Coming up next, the man himself, the owner of Town Hall, Alex Lake. Don't touch that dial. Right back after the break.
Sports Desk is sponsored by Lime, the better, faster 4G network.
Welcome back, folks. If you're just joining us, I missed some of your calls. I see we have a text. I'm going to try to get that text. But before we start and we go back into that, I just want to mention that the 40 Cross Championship Games are going to be held on February 7th, where we have Disciples, 40-plus Disciples going up against 40-plus LE Flyers. So that should be an exciting game in basketball. We have the young 40-plus going up against the old 40-plus. And in netball, we have the Panthers, which is an old 40-plus, going up against the young 40-plus All-Stars. So those should be two exciting games starting next weekend, February 7th, in the Multipurpose Complex. We're expecting all you guys to come out and watch these old guys play basketball and old girls play netball. Once again, that is February 7th, netball and basketball championships. After the games, there'll be an award ceremony. All awards will be given out. So we expect you guys to come out and support. Like I said, I just missed your call. If you were calling, try to call me back. I'll try to get all the information out as fast as I can. Let me just read your text. It said, good night, guys. Just tuning in. Do you have any confirm of really Uptown return? Paul, I know you're familiar with it.
Well, I spoke with the trainer, which I always try and do when I get on the race days, what have you, and I gave him a ride one day on the road as well. And the word from him is that Uptown is actually fine now. They've actually raised him in training, what do they call it?
Breezed him.
They've breezed him in training, and he is quite fine. But they didn't feel to themselves that they wanted to run him in this last race day on Sunday. And in my humble estimation, again, this is something I really wanted to pick Pico's brain with. But in my humble estimation, I think they wanted to see the sort of condition Town Hall was in. Now, that would mean that for really Uptown now, should Town Hall run exceedingly well in St. Croix, they would need to get a race in before the two horses met in April. Wouldn't that be so? Alex, as we welcome you on the show.
Mm-hmm. All right, thank you. Well, I spoke with the trainer also. He's a wonderful guy, and he does an excellent job with really Uptown. He told me that the horse still needs a little bit more preparation.
Right.
And I'm not sure when we will meet, but it will be a nice encounter.
Yes, certainly it would. And as we welcome you on the show, first of all, let's talk about the big race, because I want to go back a race on that first race when he stumbled. What was the
Paul, before you go to
okay, we have a
call.
call. Let's take the call.
Good evening, you're at the Sports Desk. How can I help?
Yeah, hi, good night.
Good night.
Good night.
We want to say congratulations to the Knights of the Round Table.
Thank you.
Thank you.
They're a little shy.
Yeah, smiling.
They're a little shy. They're getting used to
So
it.
you guys, you brought it home for Tatola. That's the most important thing, not just the camp. You brought it home for Tatola.
That's right.
So this question is for either Fedor or Alex. Everybody's talking that break up the game would have done so much better if they didn't have a problem out of the gate. But talk about the challenges what Hall faced on the backstretch when he was boxed out and the jockey actually had to pull him up and drop him all the way back to fourth place. He faced controversy too.
and still made it to the end with a resounding finish. So it wasn't only break up the game that faced challenges during the race, some have faced challenges too. So bring that to everybody's attention and bless up. We love you guys.
Alright, thanks. You be paying attention, man.
Well viewed, well viewed.
So that means y'all need to go back to the race.
Yeah, you don't usually get a lady who's an observant. Well, you know,
Well, for producers, if you have that race again, can we just get a clip of that race again
Yeah,
so
we
we can
share what you're
analyze?
speaking about.
We can analyze as we go along. If
Right.
you can bring back that race for us.
Sure. That. So in the meantime, if we get a chance, Pico was suggesting that if it was his horse, he wouldn't have made him run when he had stumbled in his first race.
Right.
What was your feeling on that?
Well, it happened really quick. I was very angered by the fact that it was the fault of the gate handlers. Very, not doing what they need to do.
Yeah.
And he got away from the gate handlers. The jockey was off of him. He jumped over the rail, and then he even stumbled in a hole.
Yes,
he came out. He seemed to be all right. I tried to walk him as people could see, to see how he was moving, if he had any limps or aches or pains. I mean, when his adrenaline, like every other sports agent, if he's heated, he may not show everything at that time. Really, I thought back on it after the fact, and I felt like really I also should have scratched him out the race and not run him. But it was a quick choice that I made, and we just let him run the race.
Okay. On to the next race. Now we're obviously showing the next race. Well, we have that.
If we had to do it all over again, we'll have scratched him.
You would have scratched him.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
That's a learning experience.
Well, again, but the thankful thing is that the horse is well.
Yeah.
Yes,
and that's let's focus on that now. Just at that point. So now on to the second race, and let's get on to is it second or third race they're showing there now? The last race or this?
Okay, we want to bring back that race so we can get to analyze. My producer, if you're listening, we want to get back that race. So
let's get Alex to have a quick look.
Yes.
And we're going to analyze the second race. Is it
Yes, the second race.
Right, we're analyzing the second race. Right. I had suggested to Feather that he looked tight in the second race. I don't know how you felt about that. That was my concern.
Well, he is on the front, and we noticed that the race was set up that he's the speed and the class in the race. So we of course gave him the instructions to break him on top and let them follow. See what they have.
Let's go into the race while we have it here. Coming out of the gate, as you can see, there was a stumble or a flaw.
Yes.
Break up the game. And as you can see how far back he was
Right.
on the race.
But if you notice, just in a little bit, right there, he had to pull them up and set them right back. He lost right about 3 lengths right there, 2.5 to 3 lengths. And that can really throw a horse off target, you know what I'm saying? Because it can change his mind and also throw off his race because he's making an effort to charge and then has to change out of stride, out of
even
pace.
for an athlete.
He
was cut off
he was cut off of the single horse.
But now, tell us about going on the stretch right now.
Well,
Is that what you instructed?
Yes, going on the stretch, we told him don't rush the horse. He has the class and the speed. Just save him right there, rate the speed with everyone else, and when he get around the turn at the bottom of the turn and the 7th furlong, he can move him.
Well, actually, he was supposed to move him going up the stretch, but not in the
But
corner.
he held out a long. He held out a long time going up the stretch.
And he may have made that switch too because of what happened earlier in the race where he pulled the
I guess because the horse
I guess how the horse felt too.
How the horse felt.
So it's response again. It could have all been interrelated.
Right. Because right here is not where he's starting to make a move because all that time he's still been.
That's the first time he really asked the horse to run.
And
right there.
Yeah, you can see the difference right now as he goes.
And that's when he started to walk away. See?
But then you did predict that 4 horse lengths. Tell me how did you guys come about this?
Well, we are the ones that train the horses. We know that what kind of conditioning we have in. We know that the athlete that we have in terms of the horse, and we know his ability, and we know that those horses were not a threat to us at any time. Everybody had a lot of different things to say and different opinions.
Like my colleague.
Yes. Yes.
I want you to get my colleague. That's what
well. Everyone had so much to say. I wouldn't be surprised that Paul was misled. We at no point in time were worried about the other horses in the race. We know that they're decent running horses, but to compete against him, we know that they'll have to come real good to beat him.
Who are you looking for in this race?
Well, really, the main competitor was only Break Up the Game that I was concerned about. He came off a very good race in St. Croix. I give it to him. He ran an excellent race. He conquered them because he won the race, and I was looking for him to run even better. But run better and win the race is two different things. You know what I'm saying?
No, Alex, Feather suggested that he's going to be at 90% for next. He says 80% here. He's going to be at 90% in the next race day. Listen to Pico's analysis of how he thinks the horse should run. From your perspective, how do you see his view of how Town Hall should run? Without giving away too many, we don't have all the choosers are watching and listening.
Well, first of all, I'm excited to see the race because Town Hall is a horse that came off of some of the biggest tracks in America. Mm-hmm. He ran in Belmont, he ran in Churchill.
Okay.
So he loves big tracks. He's used to it. When he gets on St. Croix track, of course, I'm looking for a good break out the gate.
Yeah.
He can put him up early on the lead or with the leading horses, and he's going to do what he wants to do. The jockey will feel him out and know that, you know, it's going to be his time, and when it's his time, he's going to move him.
Pico said he wants to have him in third position,
which is a good position. I agree with Pico. It's a nice position. If third, I prefer him to be in second position.
Right.
Unless the speed is just
right.
Going too fast too early.
Yes, right.
Go ahead. Are you looking for any surprises in St. Croix?
No.
I mean, you
no. I know the new horses. Ethelred is supposed to be in the race, and
Uptown Anthem.
And Uptown Anthem from Bobo Bates. They said those horses may be in the race, and those are good horses also. Take nothing away from them.
So with those horses in the race now, you're not just looking at my man right here. You have two other horses to think about. I mean,
right.
How would that?
Well, I still see it to be strategized the same way. I don't think those horses are going to change our strategy. They'll just have to run to their ability and
because the best man right now, so they have to come to your
exactly. I've been here. I've gotten to climatize. Of course, St. Croix is a different location.
Yes.
So we hope that he takes a trip good because sometimes traveling can take a lot out of a horse.
Are you, Alex, one of those owners that will take a time to study a horse like Uptown Anthem and see how he's been running in the States as well as Ethelred?
Definitely, because I'm not only the owner, I'm also the trainer.
Right, okay.
Actually, one as my assistant trainer, we train the horse together. And so I have to do a lot more than just what an owner would do. Okay. I'm a hands-on trainer, and we have to see what our competitors are capable of.
Now, not to be funny, but you like LMB Stable, you are not a known handler.
Right.
And already in your young years in handling,
right.
You are proven to be to date quite a high quality. Have you been doing some homework? What has made you so good so fast?
Well, I've been around dealing with horses.
I know your mother's been around for a bit.
Right, yeah.
Younger.
And I used to be on the boys' table. I used to do a lot of hands-on work. I wasn't the trainer, of course.
Right.
Rodney Simmons was a trainer.
Correct.
And you learn a lot from the older guys and the older heads.
Right.
And my teammates, my assistant trainers, Ashiwana, Kelvin Thomas, which is Gucci,
okay.
and Aruba.
Yeah.
They play a big role in my training techniques. You know, we all put our heads together and we unify and, you know, bring out the best in the horse.
Oh, that's fair enough. I mean, I've got to say, and I'll say it on the air, that I'm certainly impressed with Town Hall. He's got my attention now. I definitely, though, Alex, want to see him do well in St. Croix, and I am convinced that they're going to gang up on him, and that will be his first real true test to me as to the quality of horse.
But all his differences, Paul, because of his tactical speed, ganging up on him will be hard to do.
Right. Irrespective, they're still going to gather for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I just want to send a shout out to LMB Stables, Letty and Bob and the crew for sticking with the game so long and bringing quality horses where the level of horse racing in the British Virgin Islands has now risen, and along now with my man Alex.
yeah, they represented a long time.
Yeah, who's new to the game and now bringing quality horses again. I expect to see a lot more of that, and I'm hoping that come next race day, when you guys are finished in St. Croix. And by the way, for those of you guys don't know, the race in St. Croix is on the 16th of February. And our JTV crews are actually looking for sponsors so we can get the games broadcasted live for you guys so you can get a chance to see it.
Let the people know we have a lot of charters. So
yes, there are a lot of charters. But before we go into the charters, like again, I want to just mention for you guys who our crew, Paul, myself, and my camera crew, we were looking for sponsors so we can get over there so we can give it to you live and give you the analysis that you normally get here on the weekend when we come on the show. So if any of you guys want to sponsor the crew for going over, our contact numbers we'll give you before the night is ended. Paul, if you want to shout yours on right now. My number is on the screen if you guys want to call us. I've been neglecting your call so far, but
You have.
hopefully you can call me back. I know I see some of the same numbers. Town Hall Forever, big up Alex Lake. I know that's a text just came in. For those of you guys who have just missed the call, please call back. I know you have something to say, but if you guys want to sponsor us, my number is on the screen. Paul is going to give you a number before the night ends, so you can contact any of us. Paul?
Yeah. Well, Carl has just authorized me to give you my number. So 5473146. You got a call coming in.
We do have
Take
a
this
call. Good evening, you're on the Sports Desk. Hello?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
I just got in to congratulate me on next week.
that's it, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
This is Miss Mitten.
All right, okay.
And you agents alike.
Good night and thank you.
Yeah.
All right, darling, I'm glad for your man and it's to God.
All right, keep us in keep us in your prayers.
No, Paul, if you notice, the guys are wearing the same color shorts, I guess.
Well, you see, I knew they were going to wear blue, so if you notice, I wore my blue shirt tonight as well. And
But you know, Paul, I have to say, I don't like the color of the shirt that you were in because you weren't representing that shirt last weekend. But
No.
guys, tell us a little bit about is this your the home colors or the?
Yes, these are the home colors. The home colors are blue, neon green, and white.
Yes, and as you can see, you got a picture of the horse. It's on there. So
when you're away from home, you still wear the blue?
Yes.
So the blue is the blue, that's it.
Yeah.
That's the colors of blue.
Well, the shirt may not be blue, but the colors and the design
And the
will
red
be,
and blue.
yeah.
Now we're on the tiny of the clock here, and so I just want to sort of have a final question for you, Alex. Here.
hold on, Paul. We have another
Okay,
call.
well there we go. Another caller again. I may not get my question in.
Good evening, you're the Sports Desk. Hello. Oh, we just missed you. If you want to call back again, we just missed you.
Right. So, Alex, the question is, should Town Hall run extremely well in St. Croix, which we now expect him to do? Now, the pressure is now on you guys because you are now the horse to beat.
Right.
Not break up the game anymore. You do realize that.
Right.
Should he now do what he's expected to do now? What is next? So what is your hope next for Town Hall? I don't want the answer to be whoever comes. I want you to give me the real answer.
Well, I'm looking at the two horses that the guys bought to be good horses. I still feel like we have the edge on them in many ways, and I'm looking for him to produce big things in St. Croix and come out the champion.
Right. So then my question is now. So don't avoid my question, Alex. After that race is gone.
Or after that race?
After that race, I want to know what is your focus. What is the focus for Town Hall? What the folks are going to want to know?
Well, the focus for Town Hall, we will be traveling to represent the Tortola, definitely, throughout the Virgin Islands. And we're looking for him to conquer all the big races.
Right.
We'll be entering him, God's willing, once he's healthy and strong, and he'll be doing his thing.
Okay, I have a text, Paul.
Okay, go on, read
It
it.
says, Alex, I'm happy you stuck with the game. You deserve the spotlight. Having a man like Federer looking after your horse is the best decision you have made in this game. Federer?
I think that's Feather's wife that said that thing.
We thank you for that text.
I know as the owner and trainer, you don't want to commit yourself to calling specific names, but obviously, so I'll say it. I'll put my neck on my head here and say, obviously, it would be nice for the Easter races to see Town Hall and Really Uptown are the two top horses in the Virgin Islands.
Well, that race is inevitable. Once Really Uptown and Town Hall stay on their feet, strong and good, that race will come to pass. People will see it. I know it will be an excellent race. I take nothing away from Really Uptown. He's a very good horse, as Town Hall, and they're going to be competing. It's going to be good.
Would you prefer that matchup for Easter or for festival races? Which one would you, in your heart, when you sat down and dreamt about Town Hall coming to the Virgin and being in a one horse, which race would you prefer, Easter or festival?
I'm going to say like the horsemen say, horses ain't afraid of horses, owners afraid of owners. So whenever they meet, they'll do their thing, and we'll compete to the fullest. I'm not sure when they will compete. I'll be competing, so I'm not sure when Really Uptown will actually be out.
I didn't want to come for Easter.
And when he'll be ready to compete. I predict Easter also.
And prepare for
nevertheless,
Carnival races.
Yes, the bottom line is, folks, that the talk of the town is obviously now Town Hall, and the matchup, the ultimate matchup now of the Virgin Islands is Town Hall and Really Uptown.
Now, before we go to closing, I just want to give these guys an opportunity again to let everybody know that you're going to St. Croix. February the 16th is the races, and you're going to defend. I want to congratulate you guys for keeping that $20,000 here. I know.
Thank you.
I know my colleague figured that he was going to leave us, but I had the confidence of staying at home.
All right.
And you guys are not rubbing it in his face. I don't like that, but nevertheless, once again, guys, we're extending. If you guys want to sponsor the crew to go over to film the races, we'd love to have the opportunity to do so and give you guys the full package of what goes on in St. Croix from the time we leave till the time we get back. Now, once again, guys, I congratulate you guys on a job well done. I mean,
thank you.
I know this is the first time I have the two of you guys in here. You're not going to be any stranger now.
No.
Les Mo had his due. I had Letty here. Everybody's been here. I can't get Mileage to come in, so you guys, if you can get a chance to talk to Mileage for me, I want to congratulate him too on his win. I know that was an easy win for him. But for all the horse owners and all the winners, I just want to say congratulations to Miss Aaron. Again, my condolences to you and your family. I know you are putting your son to rest this weekend. Condolences to you on a job well done for the races that we had. Again, guys, it's been fun. Just before we go to, I just want to mention again, next weekend, the championship games, 40-plus games. We have the championship team of netball and the championship team of basketball. We got the Disciples going up against the LE Flyers. So these are like fathers and son going up against each other. And we got in netball, we got the Panthers going up against All Stars. So if you guys want to check those games, it starts at 7, February 7, next week after the show this weekend. Next weekend, you guys come out and support the games. Paul, I think there was some basketball games going on too with for Eastern.
The final should be on this weekend in the 6th district in the gym.
Yes.
So we'll be expecting that as well this weekend.
So you guys come out and support that also.
Support that. But if I could just say though, in support of what you said, that this is now reminding me of the big matchup when we had the beast from the east with the best from the west, and now we're seeing the rebirth of that. I mean, Pico and I, we thought we'd never see that rebirth again. It's here. I strongly feel that it's here, and I'm hoping that Uptown stays healthy. What I want to say is, in those days, it was Akbar who would come out and talk about the beast from the east, if you remember. And I must, as Pico would say, give Alex and Feather kudos for coming on here and talking about their horse. We certainly appreciate that. And horse holders aren't the easiest people to get to come out.
That's a fact.
And this is their first really big win, and they're here, so we got to give them something for that. And for that, we'll support Town Hall 100%.
Oh, you joined the crew now?
I'm joining the crew.
We're going to get a shot for you.
I thought I had it already. It was the wrong one. But so we just want to thank you guys, and let's give these guys some final words. We're on the time of the clock.
Okay, guys, what to expect? Fella?
Expect a big run from Town Hall and St. Croix on a big track.
Alex?
I second the notion. I know we're going to do very good in St. Croix. We're going to make Tatola proud. And once again, they're going to respect us once again.
Paul?
Well, my final, what I want to say is that in the last 20 or so years that I've been following horse racing, the Virgin Islands, we, the true Virgin Islands, have always had the best horses from expectation coming right down, and things haven't changed. Crucians and St. Thomas, we still have the best horses, so look out, we're coming your way.
We're coming your way.
Now, for me to wrap up, guys, I just want to say again, if you guys want to sponsor our show, the doors are open. If you need information on how you can sponsor the Sports Desk, please give us a call. My number is on the screen, 541-7541. If you want to send me a text, I can give you the information. And again, for us to get over to the races on February 16th, if you guys are interested in sponsoring us to get over there, please give us a call. Paul, I think you need to give them the number.
Yes, I forgot that. I thought I had Paul permission. My number is 547-3146. So I want to say a special hello to my mom. Carl, did you say hello to your mother?
Mom, I know you just turned on the TV. Yes. Because I called you and told you to turn it on. But good evening to my family, my mom, and
also to Vanessa, who lives right across the road from my mother. Both are living in Huntington. So Vanessa, I hope you're watching. And I'm going to say hello to Alex's mom, because he forgot to say hello to his mom again. So I can't say, I know you're watching. So good night to you. You forgot to say good night to mom.
Good. And once again, guys, that's been the Sports Desk.
Hold on, we can't go yet. For the one to say hello to
you
mom.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Mommy Lake.
So until next week, good sports in you. Thanks for watching.
All right, thanks.
Sports Desk is sponsored by Lime, the better, faster 4G network.